Hello everyone, and how are you doing today? In this class, you'll be learning more on Microsoft Excel. You'll be learning how to use formulas in Microsoft Excel. So, I believe you practiced what you had in the last class, and you know to practice because you have the same sample data that I have here. So you could use that to practice. You're using the same sample data to be able to learn more about formulas in Excel. So basically, we'll start off with the concept of a formula. Excel can be used to create very simple formulas, and it also has predefined formulas in Excel. So what I mean is basically Excel can be used to do addition, um, multiplication, division, subtraction, and all of that. And it also has basic inherent products, sum, and different formulas. So let us start with how Excel can be used to create a very simple formula. So what you must be able to note when you're working with Excel is this formula bar right here. Display here, they call it, you can see it if you look at it. Just follow me exactly, have this sample data, and let's start working together. That's the easiest way to learn. So this formula bar is very, should notice very well. Then also another thing to note here now is the sheet area. This is the sheet area. All of these places are the sheet area. Anywhere on this place is called the sheet area. Then lastly, what you should know also should be a range. So a range is from a particular point on the sheet area to another point. So I believe you've learned from the first or second class about knowing rows and columns. So you can see that this is G on the row, and this is 4 on the column, G4. So you can have G4 in this spot here. So let me take from here. This is A2, A and 2. So if I want to pick up a range, I can say I will have to come pick the range starting from here. I come from the, let me clear this off. Okay, let me come here at G6. So I said is equal to, you start what is equal to, then I take the range. So I can write it out. B, what's B2? B2 is 124300. Okay. B2, can you see that? Then I put my colon, shift, and the colon here. I put my colon. B2 to B, what now? Let me go B2 to B10. B10. Can you see it has picked that range? B2 to B10, it has picked the range. Okay. So let me do B2 to B50, B20. Sorry, B20. B20. That is another range. So a range can work on a column range, can work on a column, can also work on a row. So I'm doing B2 now. What's the last one here? To E2. To E2. That's E2. That's a range. I can also do B2 to E20. To E20. Can you see? That's another range. So that's basically what the range is. So I believe you can understand range that way. So try it also, and you're going to see it that way also. So when I tap here, it's able to copy everything there into this place directly. Just use a direct copy. Try it. So it does a direct copy. Ctrl Z on doing that. All right. So it's easy to find a range. A range is very easy. So if I'm taking it from here, Ctrl Shift down, that's your arrow key down. I've not left the arrow key, Control Shift side. So this is the whole total range of everything. Okay. So a range is from a particular value to the left or to the right, whatever it is. So you can go from A1 to A6 or A2 to A4. You can pick a range of value of what you need. These ranges are very important when we are dealing with um, creating formulas. So you want to create a simple formula now. Let me say on G3 now, I want to create a formula. I can say is equal to, what I want to do is I want to add D2 and D3 together. So I want to say is equal to D2 plus, you can find plus on your keyboard, plus D3. Can you see that? So it's adding these two together and I press enter. So it has given me the summation of this. Now if I look into this place now, let me touch it, I can see, and I look at the formula bar, look at the formula here, D2 plus D3. So D2 plus D3 is giving me this value. Yeah, I hope you can understand that. That's simple. Same thing, this is for sum. Then if I do a product now, I can say is equal to D2 times D3. That is a product. Okay. So I want to separate it by commas. I come over to the top here. I see commas here. Add a comma to it so that it's showing the real. You can see 33,691,116. Then if I want to add a dollar to it, I can come here to add a dollar. So in this place, there are ranges of what you can add to it. You can check pounds. There are different ranges. So I just click on dollar. It adds this dollar to it. Now, what else can you do if you want to remove the true decimal point? This is to increase decimal point here. This is to reduce decimal point here. So if you want to reduce the decimal point, I can come over here and just press decrease 1, 2. It has decreased decimal point and has approximated it. So if you know a little bit of math, you know that there's what they call approximation. Okay, so if you have 199.99, you can approximate it to 200. 199.99 can approximate it to 200. So same thing here, is approximated, this product. Now you have division. So we have is equal to what are we using? D2 and D3. D2 divided by D3, 0.877193. So that's it. So I can add my dollar to it. Okay, and I added this in here. Good. So it's kind of inherited that stuff. So this is how, this is sum, this is product, this division. Let me bolding it, Control B to bold, or I come here to bold, either of the two. So we can see some product division. Then subtraction. Subtraction now, you can see that it's following the same order, it's inheriting the same order. Subtraction is equal to D2 minus D3. That's minus $761. So it has inherited, CXL has inherited the same format across this point here. So this is sum, this is product, this is division, and this subtraction. So Excel can be used to do basic calculations. Very simple basic calculation. Also, let's look at something very simple also here. So let's imagine that I'm copying this range. I want to copy from here down to 11 here. I do a copy, Control C, and I paste it here. Okay, so I want to get this is, let's say this is the sale amount, and let's say this is tax, for example, tax. So I want to get, let's say the tax is 10%. Okay, let's leave this. So let's say the tax is actually 10%, and I write it in 10%. Good. So another thing I can do, they create a formula. The credit formula, I can say all the value to be inside here is equal to this sale amount is what h8, yes, h8 times, this is times 10%. So 10% is j7. I just tap it j7. So that's 10%. Let me touch this. This is 543.63. Look at the formula bar. H8 times j7. So this is already a formula. H8 times j7. This is a formula, 10%. So that is what Excel can do. Now, we've talked about Excel can autocomplete and autofill. So it's part of what we'll discuss now. We'll talk about what they call referencing, relative referencing in Excel. So let me open a new sheet. I'll call it relative referencing. Is that correct? Your spelling correct. Referencing. Okay. So I want to take what I have here. Okay, let me just highlight, take this whole thing here. Then Control C, and I paste it somewhere here. Control V. So Excel can do relative referencing. That means if I want to look for the tax value of this one, um, let me just give them some names, hypothetical names. So 5, so this 1 to 11, so these are the names, I guess. Control V. So let me drag this a little bit. So this is the names of the person, names. Okay, name, sale amount, tax 10%. Let me bolden this. Control B or B. Good. Now with this now, if I want to find the tax value for our late fees, I have to be doing the same thing. Is equal to, then I touch this place, or I write the C7, anyone, then I multiply it by 10%, E5. I just touch 10%. I press my arrow there. It has done that. Then I have to do it by the same process, one by one. But Excel can do a relative referencing. So it tries to examine the first multiplication you did, or the first addition you did. Then it does the same thing down. So it kind of autofills everything down. So rather than me doing everything one by one, in case I have a very long sheet, Excel can do that for me. How will I do that? Two simple ways. So now let's say we have this tax now. The tax, let's say we have the tax as in this place. Let's say we have the tax as 10%. 10%. tax for anybody as 10%. That's the value is $0.10. Okay, so I can drag this down. So everything is $0.10. So let's say this tax. So this is total value now. Total value. Total value. Okay. With this now, you can do a relative referencing. So Excel knows that you can, whatever you do to the first one, you can keep going down with the same thing. So let's start a relative referencing. So I start with the first one is equal to, I touch here, C6 multiplied by 0.10. I press enter. So this is the value. Let me put a dollar sign there. A dollar sign here. So good. So Excel can autocomplete and it can do a relative referencing. So it's looking. If I drag this one down, what I can do is I can do it to a plus sign here. I just drag this one down here. You see now, Excel is doing a very good job for me. Come and touch the second one here for it, please. Look at it. 6 7 times D7. Touch here. C9 times D9. So Excel is doing a relative referencing. C9 times D9. C10 times D10. C15 times, look at this here. C15 times D15. So Excel is very good at relative referencing. That's what they call relative referencing. So let me write it down here. Relative referencing. I hope my spelling is correct. If it's not correct, let me know. So I can come here to merge and center. No, yeah, merge and center. I merge it, I bolden it, and I give it a background color of red and text color of white. Good. Relative referencing. That's very easy. Now, what I'm going to want to use some inherent Excel values, formulas. So we can use that. Some Excel formulas. So let's call it Excel built-in formulas. Formulas. So we take this sheet, or let me just take this sheet here that is smaller. So let me copy this whole sheet, Ctrl C, and I put it here, Ctrl V. Okay, so let me drag this, let me drag this, let me drag this, let me just drag this to make it good. Okay, so with this one now, let's do some basic formulas in Excel. I can start with sum formula and put sum here, sum. So Excel has a sum formula. So if I say is equal to on G5, right, is equal to, and I add the word sum, see it, Excel already has a sum, and I tap on sum, double tap on it, so it will ask you what number and what number do you want to sum. So I have my number, I can sum C5, then comma, I sum C6, see that, any amount you want to sum, comma, C7, then whenever you want to stop, always put close the bracket and press enter. Good. So it does the summation of C5, 6, 6, 6, 7. That's for sum. Excel can also do a product. So now it does is equal to product. See that product here, double tap 1 2. What do I want to product or multiply? C5 comma C6 comma C7, close the bracket. Has done that. So this is quite much. So it's quite much. That's why Excel is raising it to power. Let me just do it as two values. I want to remove one of it. I call it formula bar. Just remove. I remove the comma sign at the back. Okay, so yes, I press enter. So this is better. This is better. Let me put a comma there. Yeah, and a dollar sign there. Good. Oh, so let me even do the same thing here. Let me just use two values so that we can check if it corresponds. Two values. Yeah, product. So let's see what we have here too. Division and then let's do product. Okay, 11,634, 33,000. I think that's the same thing we have here. So Excel can do many things. It can do a sum, can do a sum. If you can just check a list of different formulas that Excel has. That's so many built-in formulas. You can just go around and check these basic formulas that Excel has. Okay, so I believe you can understand this, right? So this is you're just looking at the basic ones that you need for your own work. You need the sum, you need division, subtraction, and all of that. The next thing we look at in Excel now is we've done relative referencing. Let's do absolute referencing. In absolute referencing, that one is a little bit different. So this is relative. Let's write absolute here. Okay, the relative referencing, we've done this side here. Let's do the bottom also. So let's do the bottom also. So we have, if we want to add up all of these things together, there are two ways to add it. Is either we say is equal to, we now start naming them one by one. C5 plus C6 plus C7 plus C8, that can be stressful, plus C9 plus C10 plus C11 plus C12 plus C13 plus C14. Then close the bracket. Press enter. We found a typo. Oh, I made a typo. Where was that? Alright, I found out where it is. We're not supposed to put a bracket at the end because this is not a sum formula or product formula or any Excel formula. This is just simple addition. So just add C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4. Then once we are done, press enter. Alright, like you can see here. Okay, so that's it. I've done from the column side. Top to bottom. Now let me now do from let me do from this side. From this side now, you can drag it across like this. You can see that yes, this is the addition of this value. This is the addition of this value. I believe you can understand that. So if I don't want to use this method, what can I do? I can decide to let me do a Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. So if I don't use this method, what can I do? I can use Excel sum formula. So the sum formula is here. Sum. I just come here. Sum. And press enter. So with this now, I have the same value. Ctrl B. I can now drag across. Same thing. Then I save. Same thing. So I hope that is a little bit clear. So I wanted to talk more on Excel built-in functions, but there are a lot of them. So we dedicate another class for that one to do Excel built-in functions. So what I want to do next now is the absolute referencing. Absolute referencing. So absolute referencing here. Let me write absolute referencing here. Oh. With absolute referencing, I can just do a very simple one. Let me copy what I have here. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So I'm dragging this, I'm dragging this, I'm dragging this, I'm dragging this, I'm dragging this. So with absolute referencing now, how can we do absolute referencing? Alright, that's very simple. So let's say I want, now I'm putting the tax in this place here. Okay, so let's say I don't want to put the tax for each value here. Let me delete this. So how do you delete? You can delete by clearing, just clear content. So it has cleared the value here, because remember what is here was this one times this one. So here has been cleared also, because there's a formula here that times this one with this one. Okay, so let me remove this first one so that it will stop, and I do a Ctrl D so that it will just inherit the same thing. Ctrl D. With this now, let's say I put a tax here and I say the tax is 10%, or I write it on top of here, 10%. Now this 10% value, I don't want to write it in every place here. I just want to write it in one place, and I want it to carry, I want Excel to be multiplying it just like that. That is where we talk about absolute referencing. Absolute referencing, you can keep the value in one place and allow Excel to be using that same value. So what will I do? I will say is equal to this one now, D7 multiplied by, now this is where you should pay attention. This is what E5. Rather than writing E5, I'll write this sign $E $5 and press enter. The same value, correct, but now if I drag this, it will give us, it will take the same thing. It's taking this same thing here. See, multiply by $E $5, multiply by $E $5, multiply by $E $5, multiply by $E $5, like that. Okay, so I'll explain more on this. I don't want to get confused. All right, thank you for joining this class.